We got 4 decks for you today for OCG Thursday. Coming out of the, what was it, the last Tetsu tournament over this past weekend? I saw a couple of things of interest, and I was like, we're going to go ahead and cover these. So the first list we're going to be looking at today is actually dedicated towards the ever so charming Live Twins, or Evil Twins. Now, a lot of people have been trying to find variants and things to make this work, and this might be probably one of the more interesting ones. So this is Dogmatika Live Twins. So we have triple copies of Asher Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 copies of Ecclesia, 2 copies of the Fleur de Lis, and 1 copy of Maximus, with 2 copies of Effect Veiler, 1 Ghost Bell, with triple Keshkil, and 2 triple copies of Lilla, with, of course, a triple copies of the Max C, because they get to abuse this card and we don't. OCG has 2 copies of Called by the Grave, triple copies of Crossout Designator, triple copies of the Forbidden Droplet, 1 copy of the Feather Duster, 2 copies of the Nadir's Servant, with triple copies of Dogmatika Punishment. There's that 1 Ice Dragon's Prison, by the way. 1 Imperial Order, triple copies of Infinite Permanence, 1 copy of the Shadal Schism. Down in the extra deck, we have 1 Unchained Abomination. We actually get 1 Lingaribo. A little cool fun fact about these, and I've mentioned this a couple times, but these are actually Cyverse monsters, oddly enough. So you actually get some kind of weird synergy with these. I mean, yeah, they turn into fiends, but alright. So we have 1 Nightmare Unicorn, with 2 copies of Lilla and 2 copies of Kishikil. Then we have the 1 Wind Pegasus Adagnister, 2 copies of Titanclad, 2 Nintis, 2 copies of Winda, 1 Construct, and 1 copy of Apocalone. Side deck here we have 1 Lancia, 2 Nibiru, 2 copies of the Cosmic Cyclone, 2 copies of Hadoken, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, triple copies of Evenly Matched, 1 copy of Ice Dragon's Prison, and 2 copies of Red Reboot. Wrapping up this list. There's not a lot going on here with the metagame. Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of became that, hey, let's take all of these good cards and then let's put them with an engine. In this case, we're running this mini engine to generate some sort of advantage and basically aim to plus off of that. And I mean, it does basically allow for cool control variants and things to shine now. So this might not seem like the best use of these cards, but I mean, these two are basically a mini engine in and of themselves with the rest of their support, right? Next up, we have DDD. Now, the crazy thing about this, and I don't think a lot of people really understand like how crazy the OCG is. First up, they have That Grass Looks Greener, and then they have the Nemesis Corridor. Now, to those of you that are like, well, Thunder Dragon Colossus can come back, you guys don't understand like the amount of splashableness that Nemesis Corridor actually gives to you. All right, before you start squealing, being like, oh, Thunder Dragon Colossus can come back. When decks can splash in a splashable thunder monster to get access to Colossus, I kind of feel like we got a little bit of a problem. Alright, so and that's just in terms of splashability. But DDD can still combo off and still generate these boards and still kind of put you in that really weird position. So I have triple copies of Asher Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 copy of DD Ghost, triple copies of DD Lamia, triple copies of the DD Necro Slime, 2 copies of Orthros, 2 copies of Savant Copernicus, triple copies of Savant Kepler, 1 copy of Servant Newton, 1 copy of Savant Thomas, triple copies of Little Swirl Slime, 1 DD Vice Typhoon, 1 Chaos King, triple copies of Abyss King Ragnarok with 1 Buster Dragon, 1 Effect Veiler, 1 Fairy Tale Snow, 2 copies of Ghost Bell, 1 Ghost Ogre, 1 copy of the Zero King Rage with triple copies of Maxi, triple copies of Corridor, and 1 copy of Skullmeister. Side deck here we have 2 copies of Called by the Grave, triple Crossout Designator, triple copies of Dark Contract, 1 copy of the Dark Contract with the Swamp King, 1 Droplet, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 for 1 triple copies of Desires, 2 copies of That Grass Looks Greener with 1 Dark Contract with the Witch, and 1 Infinite Permanence. Extra deck here, we have 1 Union Carrier, 1 Gilgamesh, 1 copy of Halki Fibrax, with 1 Cross Sheep, with the 1 High King Kaiser, 1 Kali Yuga, Trishula Shooting Riser, Cursed King Siegfried, Chaos Ruler with the Black Moonlight Dragon, with Thunder Dragon Colossus, 2 copies of Genghis, and 1 Super High Genghis. Side deck here, we have 1 Lancia, one Golden Lord, one Nibiru, one Retaliating Sea, one Zoo King Alpha with one Cycloned, one Droplet, one Feather Duster, one Mystic Mine, one Twin Twisters, one D-Barrier, one Evenly Matched, one Ice Dragon's Prisons, one Imperial Order, and one Emptiness. Wrapping up, the side deck is like the most Highlander thing ever. I actually do kind of like when the OCG kind of splashes these in. You guys remember what the OCG was doing with Super Agent Spiral Man, where they would just splice it as an additional extender for the deck? It's kind of interesting. I like that. So I guess we're putting in a 3,500 body that we can just discard and revive for free. All right. Next up is lots and lots of trains. Level 10 synergy support, check. Want to make sure that we can stall out the opponent to win the game? Check. Additional armament on top of my super big train? Check. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. One copy of the Golden Lord. I mean, a lot more of you might understand this, but it is a free pop. It is a free revive on a level 10 body. It's pretty good. We have two copies of Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede, triple Derricrane, one Citadel with triple copies of Maxi, two copies of the Night Express Knight, one Railcar, and one Bullet Train. Spells, we have two Called by the Grave, one Crossout Designator, triple copies of the Forbidden Droplet, one copy of Feather Duster, two Lightning Storm, one Mystic Mine, triple Extrav, but of course, I really like this. We have triple copies of Switchyard, one Terraforming, triple copies of Virgin Schedule, and triple copies of Infinite Permanence. Extra deck down here is pretty straightforward. We have two Anger Knuckle, triple copies of the Juggernaut Light, triple Gustav, one copy of the Gangdari. I mean, Gangdari is not something that you want to dedicate a lot of resources to. I feel like if you get to this, it's fine. If you don't, it's okay. We have triple copies of Super Dora, triple copies of Double A Zeus. Side deck here we have two Lancia, two Nibiru, triple Cosmic, triple Dark Ruler No More, triple Evenly Matched, and two copies of Red Reboot. Wrapping up this list. Trains definitely... This whole deck's premise in life is just to get to Double A Zeus, set up this relatively huge board wipe on the opponent, and then basically just train equal go burr. Alright, that's fundamental premise of the deck. Big Moss Monster, go burr. Alright. Last but not least is another nod back to Tri-Brigade. We've seen a lot of variants and things trying to make this engine splashable. So here's a little bit of love to the Zoo Tri-Brigade folks out there that really want this deck to show some sort of love and be successful. So we have two copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, one copy of the Barrier Statue of Stormwinds, triple Crow, two Effect Veiler with triple copies of Maxi, one Apex Avion, triple copies of Ceres, triple copies of Fractor, triple copies of Naval, with one Ram, one Rapier, triple copies of Thoroughblade, triple copies of Whiptail, with triple copies of Tinky, one Harpy's Feather Duster, one Barrage, two copies of Infinite Permanence, one copy of Trap Trick, and triple copies of the Tri-Brigade Revolt. Actually, the fact that this is a normal trap card that you get access to off of the Trap Trick is pretty cool. Extra deck down here, we have two Wicked Wings, one copy of the Silver Bullet, one Fruitless Flower, one Simorg, one Megaclops, one copy of Gravity. Then we have one Double Dragon, actually. I just kind of was thinking about this the other day. Generic Beast Warrior support. We have one Tiger Mortar, one Hammerbong, one Dryden, two copies of Chakanine, one copy of Borbo, and of course, the big Double A Zeus man himself. Side deck here, we have triple copies of Lancia, triple copies of Ghost Bell, one copy of Zoo King Alpha, triple copies of D-Barrier, two copies of Red Reboot, and triple copies of Solemn Steve Reich, wrapping up your chunk of OCG deck profiles this week. Now, we are heading on into Phantom Rage here, literally in 30 days. We are so far away from November. It hurts here. But their metagame has a lot of cool differences in card pool, and once we head into Phantom Rage, you'll start to see things like Zoo Tri-Brigade kind of show back up. It's been a little while since we've seen Zoo Tri-Brigade do things here in the TCG, but I'm really excited to get things going here. So what do you guys think about these lists? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys have to say about these, and of course, I look forward to bringing you guys another OCG Thursday. Peace out, guys.
Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well,
I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCall40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCall40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcallgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.